Sorry, who is it?
Walter Glasgow from the office of Tim Watts, MP.
Oh, hi, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good. How are you? How's it going?
Oh, it's been a bit of a battle, mate. But I've tried to explain as best I can what I'm going through to Tim Watts's office.
Yeah, I've seen that here. I've got the email. It's incredible what you're going through, mate.
Oh, mate, you got no idea. Like, I'm absolutely just catastrophically character assassinated, and it's a really difficult thing to deal with because no politician wants to cross the floor with this issue, you know. And I mean, everyone from the Attorney General and Greg Hunt and MP Reynolds and all these other important people have condoned me to vagrancy, and I'm just cooked, you know. I can't get a police, I can't get a lawyer, I can't be a whistleblower. So I'm basically rendered a neutral vagrant and refugee in my own democracy, which has whistleblower rights, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's really difficult, and I was hoping to reach out for Tim, not for two reasons. One of them is to at least acknowledge my story and see the whistleblower website that I've put together, and the second is that I am actually in great need of actually what I need is justice, not welfare, because I'm worth millions of dollars on paper, but in the meantime I've really got next to nothing, and I'm 3 months behind in rent. You know,
what I can do I mean, I'll tell you, what I can do really, like at the moment, like I have no problems in passing the information while you're going through to Tim and let him know and see what he can do. That's not a problem at all. But the only other thing that I can do, I've got the services here. I don't know if you already know them, that can actually supply you, for example, food, the medication that you have, the legal aid issue and the housing issue. I can give you the information, how to contact them and that.
well, I already know how to contact them. The NDIS ministers condoned me to vagrancy and sent me to the homeless people. I'm already on the housing register. I've already gone to legal aid, and I did get an email the other week from someone who I've got to get back to today, who said they may be able to help me. However, everything with a .gov.au or a .vic.gov.au is absolutely essentially cooked. So, for example, with the hospitalisations and stuff in the suicide attempt that I had, I emailed Dan Andrews for the to bring attention to this, and like many, they don't see justice; they see welfare and an illness, and I believe that what's needed to be acknowledged is the justice issues. You know, in actual fact, I've been framed, and my kind of simple-ish prejudiced family tries to put me in hospital because they think I'm unwell. However, it was February 2021 when I suffered the suicide attempt, and since then I've lived on, that was over a year ago, and I've lived on 22,000 for a whole year, and my rent's been 18,500 of that. So basically, I've barely had enough to exist. You know, well, not even enough to exist. I've had to borrow off people. You know.
And have you, when it comes to the food issue, have you spoken to Salvation Army to get food in there?
Look, I've spoken to Brotherhood of St Lawrence, and they've absolutely gaslighted me. I'm with the NDIS. I'm actually a NDIS registered provider, and I'm also a client of the NDIS. So the reason, it's a complicated reason why I left work, I was framed, but Look, I have no local area coordinator, so I don't have anyone local to help me, and I've reached out to the Brotherhood of St Lawrence in Footscray and told them the whole story, but someone's come down and tapped them on the shoulder from above, Minister Reynolds from the NDIA, and they've said he's not to be locally managed, he's to be NDIA managed by the government. And so what's happened there is that they've rejected me from any local care systemically, you know, and what the problem is with the NDIA is that you get reimbursements for things you pay for, but the last 47 of my invoices have not been acknowledged, and there is actually a line item on the NDIS that says emergency accommodation medium term, and they refuse to pay me that money. They just say the NDIA doesn't approve it. Hang on a sec, I'm on the phone, mate. I'm on the phone, wait on! Hang on, mate, sorry, I've got someone here. The NDIA say they won't approve it, and they won't approve any, like, blanket ban. And hang on, I'm on the phone, mate! I'm on the phone, hang on! There's a blanket ban on all of my payments. All of them. And I just can't fathom the enormity of this, because like I'd been on a pension before I did my master's degree and my PhD, and then I ran my own business for 2 years, and then I had the suicide attempt because I was framed in 2 VOCAT cases from a magistrate and the cops. So it's obviously high up, you know, and what was I going to say? I'm a bit forgetful sometimes. I was going to say, oh, that's right. The government put me on job seeker. Now, I was already on sick leave. And that was after a fatal like the Freedom of Information says it was a fatal injury in a lethal attempt. I don't know how much more dead you can be, you know. And I was found by accident. So now I have a bit of a, I think, an acquired brain injury because of my memory. However, no one has ever acknowledged that. And the hospital, I simply asked for an atonement from the hospital, an acknowledgement that tragedy happened, and the CEO tempted me to sue him directly because he knew fair well that I couldn't go to the police, I couldn't get a lawyer, and I can't be a whistleblower. So when the Ombudsman said there's nothing to see here, he wrote me an apology note from the hospital. I can't even describe the enormity of it all. So when I tried to suicide, I snapped the toilet brush in half to try and cut my artery open. Sorry to be dark, but they returned that broken, dirty toilet brush in my clean clothes. And the apology from the hospital wasn't about the malpractice, it wasn't about the abandonment of duty of care, the agreed illegal contraband. They said, oh, we're sorry to gift you back the broken toilet brush. It's not our policy to give away hospital property. That's the kind of audacity that I've been facing in this conspiracy.
Yeah, understand what you're saying.
Get what I mean? Like, I just...
You're going through hell, mate. I can't imagine all that. It's unbelievable.
And I've only just been hospitalised again. I've only got out 2 days ago. My family see me as an illness. They don't see me as a person. And every time I get distressed, because I'm broke and I'm starving, I've literally been malnourished, that they seem to think it's a good idea to call the CAT team. And of course, the CAT team come here with the police, and the police... I mean, I'm a failed whistleblower at IBAC, and I have evidence that I've been to the police for probably, I don't know, 24 times to try and report crimes like rape, conspiracy to murder, tax fraud, drug trafficking. They just won't listen. And they just keep walking me out. So I'm absolutely, catastrophically, I don't know what it says on their systems, but they won't talk to me. And they won't acknowledge me. And I'm a failed whistleblower at IBAC anyway.
Richard, what I can do, like I said, I mean, all I could do from now in here is pass the information on to Tim, let him know what you're going through, and, see what he can do. I don't know what he personally will be able to fix anything up for you. From our end, I mean, all I can do is give you the contact with the details of the services, like I said, the medication, you've already done it, the public housing, the legal aid issue.
I'm actually, because as a public official, like you are, and like every politician is, they are bound by the Charter of Human Rights of People with a Disability. And in that Charter of Rights, it says we must have dignity, a home, food, freedom from oppression and victimisation and torture. This has been torture for me. And freedom from being locked up, freedom from being exploited. And also, I wanted to say, it says on that charter too that, I've just gone through my work cover case from January last year is still going, and they're carrying it through with the AAT to a hearing, and the government, having already killed me, basically, has now got a 25-year experienced lawyer to defend the government and kick me in the head while I'm down. Now, that's inequitable, it's unfair, it's unbalanced, and I deserve a legal person. And everyone in a position of public authority has to not act outside of that charter. And
well, you know that the only service that we have available is the Victorian Legal Aid Service. It's the only one that we could put you through. Give you the contact there. And like I said, at the moment we're going through an election. We are only opposition at this stage. Once if we get into government, then we might be able to do more. But at the moment,
I can't wait till then. I've got no food, mate. It's extraordinary detriment. I mean, I've lost $1 million at the Australian Human Rights Centre. I've lost $1 to $2 million at AFCA. I've lost my work cover case at Comcare, which is being rushed through, and I'm being kicked in the head at the moment. All of these agencies and all of these politicians, I've never had a lawyer, and I've never had an advocate that isn't biased. I need a politician, a public official, to acknowledge the Charter of Human Rights and cross the floor on my behalf. That's what I need.
Well, like I said, I mean, all I can do is pass information onto Tim and see what he can do, and then give him...
I'd actually like to invite Tim to my house, if he's got the time for me. I know he's a busy man, and succinctly explain to him what's gone on for me, because I mean, only 5 days ago, I've been warned that if I'm incarcerated again in a hospital, they'll frame me for a crime and I'll be locked up forever as a ward of the state. Now, the police and CAT team came to get me, and I escaped. I jumped the back fence and drove to Bendigo. I have nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, and I have no agency, no dignity, no money, medication, care. It's an absolute travesty, and the detriment I've suffered from this systemic government oppression has not only basically murdered me, but it then covered it up. And now they're trying to put me in incarcerate me, and they only did, again, 4 days ago. And I went into hospital, and the psychiatrist there said, well, you don't suit any of the criteria. And I said, I know, right? Because I'm right. There is a conspiracy. He goes, yeah. And because that's what they locked me up for having delusions of persecution. But in actual fact, they're correct.
I'll pass all that on to Tim, and I've got the email that you sent us and everything, and I'll see what he can do from his end, and then contact you if he can do anything from his end to help you. Okay, that's the best I can do at this stage, Dr. Richard. Like I said, and also give you those details that I wanted to give you. That is all that I can do at the moment from my end. Because Tim at the moment, that, as you know, they're all in Canberra and stuff working.
Yeah.
So all I can do is just wait till he returns back and see if he can do anything from his end. And
Well, actually, legally, as a person of public office and a parliamentarian, if he's aware of corruption or the law being broken, or someone's human dignity being devalued, he, by obligation and not by omission, he must act and speak and do something. I mean, his constituency, you know.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, I'll pass the information on to him and let him see what he can do, and then be in contact with you. That's all I can do at this stage, Richard. Unfortunately, that's all I can do up to this stage.
Okay, well, that doesn't help me in the meantime, because it doesn't help me. It's no help.
Well, all I was trying to do is help you with the services, like the Salvation Army details and all that I said. But you said you already...
It's not just sending me to welfare. It's acknowledging that there's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, and that if Tim doesn't cross the floor and acts via omission, if I went to the Federal Circuit Court and took the government to town, all I would have to prove is that Tim acted via omission by ignoring me, along with all the other dozens of people, to prove a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice and a vile victimisation of me. So I'd recommend that Tim do something, because I'm in his...
Like I said, Dr. Richard, what I'll do is I'll send the information across to Tim,
Yeah.
and then it's up to Tim to decide what he can do and what he's able to do. It's up to him. It's not. I mean, he's not here at the moment.
Yep. Oh, hang on, mate. I'll be there in a minute. Sorry, I've got someone here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you go for now. You haven't helped me, but
I apologise that I can't help more at this stage.
Okay. No worries, mate.